All right, let's kick off another deep dive. Today we're heading over to Germany, Cuxhaven to be exact.
Sounds interesting.
It is. It is. We've got some really cool material you shared from Christlich's Social Work Cuxhaven.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah, I know, right? It translates to Christian Social Work Cuxhaven, for those of us who don't speak German.
Right.
And they're doing amazing work, like truly impressive stuff in social integration, online child protection, and, community development.
Wow.
All of that, both locally and digitally. So I am really pumped to unpack their 7-level integration program. That's for migrants.
Okay.
And then there's this youth-focused social media platform called Jappa.rocks. Have you heard of that?
I haven't, no.
Oh, it's fascinating. And they even have this really unique neighborhood store. It's called Begegnungszentrum Tante Emma.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's kind of like a community center, but also a shop, all rolled into one. Yeah, based on the traditional Tante Emma Laden concept, those were like the small, friendly shops that used to be like the heart of German neighborhoods, back in the day.
Right. Right.
Yeah. So to help us break down all of this, we've got our expert on community development and social initiatives joining us today.
It's great to be here. I'm excited to dive into this. One thing that immediately stands out to me is how Christlich's Social Work Cuxhaven, they just blend this digital reach with, actual on-the-ground impact.
Right.
They're reported to have over 2 million digital contacts.
Wow.
And they interact with over 40,000 people locally each year.
That's a lot of people.
It's huge. That's a powerful combination, I think.
It really is. And they're smart. They're strategic about how they use partnerships to make the biggest impact.
Absolutely.
And speaking of partnerships, they talk about ESG partners a lot. I know ESG stands for, environmental, social, and governance.
Mm-hmm.
But can you, break down for us what makes these partnerships so important, especially for an organization like this one?
Of course. So, see, ESG, it's not just some trendy buzzword, It's a real framework that helps organizations actually build sustainability and social responsibility into their core operations.
I see.
So for Christlich's Social Work Cuxhaven, this means teaming up with businesses who actually share their values.
Makes sense.
Right. So, for instance, they've partnered with a local renewable energy company
Oh, cool.
to offer discounted solar panels to migrants who are in their integration program.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a win-win, The company gets to expand its customer base.
Right.
And the newcomers, they get to reduce their energy costs while at the same time contributing to, greener Cuxhaven.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and that's just one very concrete example of how ESG partnerships can really create tangible benefits for everyone involved.
I love that example.
Yeah.
It really makes it clear, what ESG actually means in practice.
Definitely.
All right, well, let's shift gears a little bit and talk about their 7-level integration program. They call it 7LIP, which aims to, help migrants integrate into German society.
Right.
And what strikes me about this is that it's not just about language classes, which is what you typically think of.
Uh-huh.
They have roundtable discussions, informal language cafes, even workshops on democracy and culture.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's way more holistic than just focusing on language acquisition.
It really is. And, they found that 70% of the people in their 7LIP program have actually gotten jobs, suitable jobs.
Wow.
That's amazing.
That's a really high success rate.
It is way higher than traditional programs that only focus on language acquisition. It makes you think, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe this more holistic approach is actually the key to really integrating successfully.
That statistic's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
And not just that. The program is said to have saved taxpayers over $125,000.
Really?
Yeah, so it's not just socially effective, it's fiscally responsible too.
Exactly. And by giving the migrants the skills and the connections that they need to actually thrive, they're basically creating a ripple effect, a positive one, throughout the entire community.
Right.
It's a win for the individuals, for the local economy, and for society as a whole.
Okay, now I'm really curious about this JPPA.rocks thing, their youth social media platform.
Okay.
So they have 3 main goals with it.
Oh.
Protecting children online, promoting digital democracy education, and they even provide career guidance through a dedicated job app.
That's impressive.
It is, and what I find really interesting is how they're using AI to actually personalize the experience for every young person.
Oh, wow.
Can you unpack that for us a bit?
Sure. So think of JPA.rocks like a personalized tutor,
Okay.
but also a safety net and a career counselor all in one.
Ah.
Yeah. It can boost online safety features by being able to detect and filter out harmful content.
Right.
Or even, harmful behavior.
That's so important.
It is, especially for protecting those younger users.
Yes.
And then it personalizes the educational content.
Oh, cool.
To match each person's learning style and interests.
Wow.
Yeah, so imagine learning about digital democracy, but through interactive games.
Oh, that's cool.
Or simulations that are specifically made for you.
That's way better than a textbook.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a totally different experience. And lastly, the AI can take all this data and give personalized career advice and connect young people with, opportunities that actually fit them, which is so helpful because navigating the whole world of work can be super daunting, especially when you're young.
It's like giving each young person their own custom toolkit for navigating the digital world safely and successfully.
Exactly. And the fact that they've already reached 500 students, teachers, and even the Ministry of Education, it says a lot.
It does.
Like there's a real need for something like this.
It really shows that young people want these engaging and personalized digital tools, things that can actually help them learn, connect with others, and build a good future for themselves.
Definitely. I agree.
It's inspiring to see how they're using technology to make a positive impact.
Absolutely. Yeah, it really is. And they haven't stopped there. They also have this really interesting approach to community development with their Begegnum Centrum Tante Emma.
Oh yeah, tell me more about this Tante Emma. I'm super curious about it. It's like a community space and a neighborhood store.
Yeah.
All in one.
Right.
Like a modern take on that traditional Tante Emma Laden, those small, friendly shops that were in basically every German neighborhood way back when.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that they're bringing that back with this 21st century twist.
It's brilliant, right. And so Tante Emma, it offers all these thematic rooms for different activities.
Cool.
So it's not just for shopping, it's a place where people can connect, learn, even create together.
Nice.
So they might have a room for art classes and another one for book clubs, or maybe a workshop for local artisans.
Wow.
And then, of course, you have the retail space where local businesses and artisans can show off and sell their stuff.
So cool. So it's like creating a mini economy within the community, right?
Yeah. It's like fostering this sense of shared prosperity.
Exactly.
And I read that Tante Emma is 50% self-funded just through the retail space.
Yeah.
That's wild. It really shows how sustainable and how viable this model is.
For sure. That financial independence is key because it gives them the power to operate on their own.
Right.
They're not so reliant on outside funding, and it just makes sure that they'll have a lasting impact.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's a really fantastic model for these community-driven initiatives. They're not just depending on grants or donations. They're building this whole sustainable ecosystem that benefits everyone.
It's like they found the secret formula for community building in the modern world.
Yeah.
They're mixing digital and physical spaces, encouraging people to work together and having a real impact on people's lives.
I think so too. It's really inspiring.
What I find impressive is how they're so aware of the downsides of technology.
Yeah.
It's not like they're just blindly going after the newest trends. They're using technology in a smart and ethical way to tackle these real problems.
Like with Jappa.rocks, they're using AI to make things safer and more personalized.
Right.
But they're doing it in a way that still respects privacy and empowers those young users. It's not about spying on them or manipulating them. It's about giving them the tools to do well in this digital world.
Exactly. That awareness of how technology can be used ethically is something we need more of.
Yeah.
Not just in community development, but everywhere.
Absolutely. So if other communities wanted to copy this success, what do you think they should focus on?
Well, first off, I'd say it's crucial to really understand what your community needs and what it already has.
Okay.
Chris Galicia's social work, Cuxhaven, they clearly spent the time to get to know their community. They saw what worked and what didn't.
Makes sense.
They didn't just come in with some one-size-fits-all solution.
Yeah.
They made their initiatives fit Cuxhaven.
So it's about listening to the community and working together to find solutions.
Exactly. And then, of course, you got to be open to trying new things.
Right.
Think outside the box. Push the boundaries of what community development can be.
Be innovative.
Yeah, exactly. And they've embraced both the digital world and the physical world. They've blended old ideas with new technology, and they've really built a culture of collaboration and partnership.
It's like their approach covers everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just about fixing problems one by one. It's about creating this network of solutions that make the whole social fabric stronger.
And that's the key takeaway. They've shown us that impactful community development that lasts isn't about quick fixes or isolated projects. It's about weaving together all these different initiatives that support and uplift the entire community.
It's a model other communities could really learn from and adapt to their own situations.
Definitely. Now, before we wrap up this deep dive into Chris Lisch's social work Cuxhaven, I'd love to get your thoughts on something.
Okay.
They've shown us how technology can bridge the gap between digital and physical spaces.
Right.
And that's how you can create a sense of community that goes beyond where you live.
Yeah.
So what other ways do you think we can use technology to create that sense of belonging, especially now that our world is becoming more and more digital?
That's a great question. I think we're only just starting to see what's possible.
Yeah.
We've seen online platforms connect people with shared interests. They help people learn and work together. They even create these virtual spaces for support and social interaction. But I think we can go further.
Imagine using virtual reality to create immersive experiences,
Oh, wow.
where people can be transported to different cultures and communities.
That would be amazing.
It could really boost empathy and understanding across borders, or we could use artificial intelligence to make learning personalized.
Right.
So everyone has access to the knowledge and skills they need to succeed.
What about using technology to help people with disabilities break down those barriers so they can easily take part in community activities and connect with others?
Absolutely. We could also try using augmented reality to make public spaces even better.
Yeah.
Think interactive art installations or community gardens that engage all your senses and bring people together in new and exciting ways. The possibilities are endless.
It's pretty amazing to think about how technology can build connections in communities, even as our world becomes more digital.
Yes.
But we also have to be careful about the downsides.
Yes,
We
definitely.
need to make sure technology is used ethically and responsibly so it doesn't make existing inequalities worse or create new divides.
I completely agree. We have to actively shape a digital future that's inclusive, fair, and empowers everyone. Technology should be a tool that brings people together, not isolates them. It should help people, not exploit them.
And that brings us back to what Kreislich's social work Cuxhaven is all about.
Yeah.
They've shown that it's not just about the technology itself.
It's about the values behind it.
Exactly. They've shown how powerful technology can be when it's driven by a deep commitment to community, compassion, and social justice.
It's something we can all learn from and strive for.
It's been a really eye-opening deep dive into Kreislich's social work Cuxhaven.
Yeah, they're really setting a new standard for what community development can be in, the 21st century.
Their work is a powerful reminder that even in this increasingly digital world, human connection is still at the heart of a thriving community.
And that technology, when used thoughtfully and ethically, can be a powerful tool for fostering those connections.
I'm really struck by how they've bridged the digital and physical spaces, creating an ecosystem that supports everyone, individuals, families, the whole community.
It's like they've combined the best of both worlds, leveraging digital tools to boost real-world impact and the other way around.
Their 7-level integration program, with its impressive success rate and cost savings, shows the power of approaching integration holistically.
And Jappa.rocks shows us that AI can be used to personalize learning, promote digital citizenship, and empower young people to navigate the digital world safely and responsibly.
Then there's Tante Emma, such an innovative idea that blends that nostalgia of the traditional neighborhood store with the energy of a modern community hub.
It's a place where people can connect, create, contribute to the local economy, all while fostering a sense of belonging and purpose.
What I find most inspiring is their commitment to ethical and sustainable practices.
Yeah, they're not just going after trends or Band-Aid solutions. They're building something that will last for the well-being of the community long term.
They've shown us that true community development isn't about big, flashy actions or top-down solutions.
It's about listening to the community's needs, working together, and giving people the power to shape their own futures.
Their work shows that we all have a role to play in building stronger, more inclusive communities.
Whether we volunteer our time, support local businesses, or advocate for policies that promote social justice, there are so many ways to make a difference.
And if you're inspired by Kreislich's social work Cuxhaven, we encourage you to check out the links in the show notes.
You'll find tons of info about their work and ways to get involved and support their mission.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, we'll leave you with a final thought.
What kind of community do you want to be a part of?
And what steps can you take, big or small, to help build that community?
Remember, even the smallest actions can have a ripple effect, creating a wave of positive change.
Thanks for joining us on this journey of discovery.
Until next time, keep diving deep and exploring the world around you.